Hello and welcome to The Story Pilgrim. What's in a place? Slightly different approach this week, but before we get into that, I'd like to remind you, or if you're here for the first time, please follow us, click the follow button, review the podcast, it really does help immensely, and share this podcast. The more the merrier, please and thank you. Now, what's in a place? It's exactly that. I mean, each episode you hear me exploring, reflecting, conversing, learning and sharing. I have a lot of audio from my travels. A lot of audio that just doesn't get heard. This episode, you're going to get a chance to hear some of that extra special moments from previous walks and travels that I believe should get a chance to be heard. This podcast, The Story Pilgrim, is my passion project. It's also organic. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm figuring it all out. I don't really know what I'm doing. I appreciate you coming on this journey with me. Now, back in the summer of 2023, I walked the Saints' Way.
I haven't had a way marker for a while, and here's one. I've been on the road for a little bit, and here we are at Trove, and we're heading off the tarmac road back onto going across fields, which is I think that's much preferred. And again, the reason why do we have these roads in these places probably stems from those early, well, it does stem from those early people making those journeys. It'd be the pilgrims, but also the locals, going from their farmyards to the marketplace to sell their wares and to barter. But a lot of these tracks will have been put down from the people making their way from the north coast down to the south coast. So you start thinking about all those people that have done that, and how many of them, stopped, just thought, actually, you know what, this place is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna stay here, or met somebody, fell in love, and decided to stay. Or, decided, no, I've got to get to Santiago, but I'll definitely give this a good place look when I come back. Because we forget about the pilgrimages. We talk about the destination. They're going to walk, they're going to make their way to Santiago, or wherever it might be, the Holy Island in Cuthbert's Way. But we forget they got to get back. It's not like nowadays you can just get on a plane and fly back. Back in those days, they'd have to turn around and walk back again. And what would that mean? It's a circle route. It's a round trip. That makes it, when you put that perspective on it, the question of why, the sacrifice that's involved in doing something like that is huge. And again, it all comes down to where you live, where you started off. This morning I started off from Brighton. Started off early, making my way down to Padstow. I did 250 odd miles in a few hours. Here I am now walking 15 miles in just as much time. More so. But thoroughly enjoying it, thoroughly feeling the benefit more so from doing that drive than if I hadn't. There's a cute rabbit running in and out of the edge of the road as I'm walking down here. Just see just pop his head out, and then the white of his tail running down the road. He jumps back in, he pops back out. Really cute. And this is another reason why I like to do this is just those little climbs really make me work. And for some reason, I've got a block on going to the gym. I just don't enjoy it. But I know I need to get my exercise. And so I do try and walk, do my 10,000 steps a day. But it's just, I don't think it's good enough for me. Again, can't stress that enough. I need to feel my heart really pumping. I need to feel out of breath. I need to feel sweaty, that I've actually done some work. And I don't mind it doing this because I enjoy the whole process. And yeah, I'm not doing hard walks. I'm not doing the really, really tough hikes. I'm doing pilgrimages. Some are tougher than others. Some are longer, some are shorter, some are steeper, some are flatter. But they all have moments like that where they really do test you physically. And depending on how far you're through the day, it also tests you mentally. But going to the gym and doing this, I find it really difficult just to motivate myself to do it. And I have the opportunity to do it. Pretty much whenever I stay down route, there's a gym in the hotel that is there for us to use. I think I've done it once. I just can't motivate myself. I don't know what it is. There's a block in there. But doing this, and I just had a really steep climb there. I'm still going up. It's just gone a bit gentler. It's getting steeper again in a second. But I don't mind this. I wonder why. Why?
That whole mental block and me trying to get myself fit is still a thing. I struggle with it. Am I too lazy? Do I care enough? I don't know. I'm figuring it out. Now, let's stay on the Saints' Way for the time being. As I walked along that route, I felt a certain feeling.
So I'm walking through this beautiful village, Gollant, on the banks of the River Foy. It's absolutely stunning. Just a village on the side of the hill, going down to the banks of the river. But again, you get that feeling that they don't want you here. There's like signs, private road, that you like, well, that's the way I've got to go. Private road, drive carefully. It's really tiny. I mean, we're on the side of a hill, so these are single lane roads. If you're going to have traffic meeting each other, I don't know if they're one way, I don't know because I'm not driving. But you just get that feeling that they just don't want you here. Really interesting, but it's absolutely idyllic. It's beautiful. It's so quiet. It's a Monday. Had a couple of cars pass me. I don't see any evidence of people. I mean, I'm walking past loads of little houses and stuff. I don't see anybody out and about, whether they all work elsewhere. But the river goes round. It's very full, very green. The river's very green. Again, a lot of green here. Just beautiful. Just very blessed to be able to experience this. But like I said, you just get the feeling that and maybe these are all holiday homes. Maybe people come down here for the weekend as a retreat, get away from it all. You can see why. You sat in your front room and you've got a view like that. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, it's beautiful. You see the road, this kind of just stops, and I'm just going to carry on. There's a little pathway going down here. Again, no way markers. Nothing to tell me that I'm still on the Saints' Way. Walk through another cobweb flying across the way there. Yeah, it's lovely, but again, get that feeling that I'm not welcome. So I'm in Foy now, and there is a ferry that takes you across to Looe, and it's a little inlet. I'm guessing that that's where the boats would have left for the pilgrims. I'm just going to walk around the corner here. It's again, single lane road coming in, little cottages either side. It's on a hillside, so the banking, walking up the hillside, there's a lot of like garages underneath, and the houses up above, but there we go. Turn the corner and we can see I'm next to Foy Boatyard, White Doll Arts, but yeah, you can see the harbour there. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. Yeah, there's you can see it's a natural harbour, absolutely beautiful. Just walking past the RNLI, yeah, said that right, shop. And that again, I'm going to say it again, lots of Cornish flags all over the place. Black background with the white cross, the white St George's cross in the middle, which I don't see it in other. Not that I've travelled around our lovely country too much, but you see it more prominently here. Lots of those Cornish flags out. So yeah, you can imagine the relief of those pilgrims that have walked down from Padstow. It is a beautiful natural harbour. It's absolutely stunning. The river Foy sort of kinks around to the left. I take it you can't see the sea. It's right there. Oh, there's a delightful old open top car coming past here now. It's an old Aston Martin. Absolutely beautiful in the old racing green, British racing green as well. That was very nice. Walking up past the old police house. Yeah, lots of little white painted cottages. It's very delightful. But yeah, you can just imagine the relief of the pilgrims coming down here. Let's see if we can find the church.
I'm lucky to currently live in Brighton, a seaside resort on the south coast of England. The great thing about Brighton is the sea, the city, the vibe, and the fact that you take a 20-minute drive and you're in the countryside, on the South Downs.
So as I'm walking along here now, I can look down into and across a valley with what seems like probably a little stream down there. I don't think it's big enough to constitute a river, but looking across the way I can see a couple of farmhouses, and then there's a field probably about half a mile away that has this gorgeous white gazebo in it. This kind of looks like it's a memorial, which is really interesting. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's you can see there's a road down in front of it, but it's just a country road. But literally, it's not surrounded by any buildings or anything. There's just this white, gazebo memorial. I'll have to check out, see what that is. But it's there's a wood to its left, but it's just sat there. Can't see any people around it. It's really quite intriguing. And then coming down here in about 20 yards, well no, it's just a bit more than that, there's a load of sheep just sat on the road. I don't know if they're fast asleep. They're obviously going to run away when I get close to them, which shows you that this isn't. There you go, they're starting to move now. Probably this walk that I've chosen isn't like a usual route or anything. Yep, they just stood looking at me, and they're all going to move away. There's a little lamb. Well, not so little. Hello. Morning. Yeah, hello. I'm actually getting quite close to them. One of them just didn't care. Just stood there looking at me. Lovely. They are funny things, sheep. I think I might have said it before, they're very cute as a lamb, and then when you get to the adult size, they're all like, the head is quite ugly, really. What have I got against sheep? Okay, I'm coming down to a gate where there are a load of sheep just hanging around at the gate, and I'm going to have to go through that gate. It doesn't look like there's a stile. And then we're next to a farm. Actually, this looks like a barn. It's quite a big barn. Looks like it's probably used for lambing. But the sheep are down here because there's water right next to the gate. They're all drinking. There is something written on here. New barn, it's just called on the map. But we do need to, I think, go through this gate. We'll figure this out. Just that last little section there was dry, but it was full of nettles. Now I am wearing trousers, and the trousers that I was wearing I thought would protect me against the nettles. No. How wrong I was. So now my knee down to like the top of my socks on both sides, on both legs, is tingling quite a lot now. So I find myself a dock leaf. I think we've done this before, haven't we, Em? I don't know if I can never remember if things that I've spoken about have made it into the final edit of whenever I've spoken about it, because I think I've told you before, on average I rabbit on for anything from 4 to 5 hours on a walk like this, and obviously you know that the edit takes it down to anything between 30 to 45 minutes, so we lose a lot. Oh, some massive dock leaves here. I'm going to use these, and well, they're really big. Well, they're good. Right, let's roll up the right. Oh, it's all wet. It's all wet and stuff. So take a dock leaf, give it a good rub. Good old nature doing its thing. Thanks very much. That's the right leg. Let's do the left leg. Left leg's not as bad. But these dock leaves are really good, really big, nice and wet as well. So, put that on. That takes the stinging away straight away. Pretty much immediate effect there. Super. Alright, so we're back on track. We've only gone 3 miles so far of the 9.4. I think it is something like that. Low-hanging tree. Lots of mushrooms. Yeah, it's lovely. I haven't encountered anybody else yet, obviously, since I've left. There's that word again. Obviously, stop it. Since I've left the seafront and headed inland, I ain't seen a soul.
I do that quite often, silly voices just to myself. Do you? Now, earlier this year, I had the absolute pleasure of going for a walk with my cousin Hayley. She is absolutely amazing. I love her to bits. She's nuts, and that's probably why I love her. But here she is, telling me a little bit more about her favourite podcasts.
Oh, actually, COVID, I was listening to Jason Fox. I used to watch SAS Who Dares Wins and would follow Jason Fox. He interviewed quite a few interesting characters.
Yeah.
He interviewed a guy called Wim Hof.
Yes.
So I followed him.
Okay.
Because his theory of getting into ice fascinates me.
Yeah.
And then it led to, I listened to a few running podcasts because I do enjoy going out and having a run. But those got a bit boring. Like they were just sort of talking about the same thing, really.
Yeah.
Then the big T. So the metro system in Boston
Yeah.
have launched this podcast. They've done like 5 episodes, I think, but they interview the CEO and all those sorts of people and talk about the problems that they have.
Okay.
And that's proper random, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, that is.
But I found that quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yours and Kenton Cole. So Kenton Cole is an English guy. He summited Everest 21 times, I think.
What?
So
Really?
so it's his business. He's
Okay.
international mountain guiding person.
Geezer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've listened to his, and he'll interview, you know, a good broad cross section of people.
Yeah.
And some of them are funny, some of them are serious, some of them are interesting, you know, but
Yeah.
so
So where's this love of hiking? Kind of like, would you say extreme hiking? Because I mean, you do go out regularly, don't you? You go out hiking and running regularly, but then to say like, oh, I'm going to go to Everest base camp, that's a different level.
Well, I think it was because it's like Everest, you know, it's like having the opportunity to just go and
do it,
experience it,
yeah,
and do something that is like not your run-of-the-mill kind of walk.
And you've already sort of like said about how like the other stuff that you get out of that, by like, you know, with the porters and
I know,
helping them out and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you get out of like a day like today, or like your like last week? Was it last week you went out?
Yeah. Oh,
It looked
we
gorgeous.
did little Church Stretton in the snow.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Last week we did a little trek around Walford, so Ross on Wye.
Okay.
It
That's
stayed
lovely
local.
around that,
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky that you are in that area.
Yeah.
aren't you? Right.
So a bit like, you know, picking up a walk off the phone, and then we'll just go off and explore, really. So
What do you get out of it?
just the freedom, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Listening to the birds,
Yeah.
just jumping off that work wheel for
Yeah.
a day or two,
Yeah.
and you can just put the worlds to rights. Like Damon and I will just be walking, just talking rubbish all the way round, really. You think, okay, but yeah, just the freedom and the fact that it's free and we can come out and enjoy this beautiful countryside.
I think I keep saying it. We're so lucky in this country to have so many pathways, bridleways open to us. Jump out of a plane?
Jump out of a plane, yeah.
Okay.
At 15,000 feet. But we went through some lovely villages to get there, and you think, wow, this is the English countryside.
Yeah. Well, how was that, jumping out of a plane?
Awesome. No, Damon had always wanted to do it at Swansea.
Okay.
So for his 50th birthday present, I bought him a jump.
Okay.
And then he was like, well, if I'm going, you've got to come with me.
Okay.
So, but we ended up in Salisbury because the weather's got to be right.
Yeah.
So initially we were jumping in July time, I think, and the weather was awful, so we kept being pushed back. Then eventually it was in Salisbury. But you go, you park up, go in, they give you a little bit of a briefing video, kit you up, and then you go to the departure lounge.
Right.
In the middle of the field.
Okay.
And then you get given the guy that you're going to jump with, because it's tandem.
Yeah.
They call your name. Then you jump on the plane, and you're on obviously a little aeroplane. There's just a bar in the plane, and you just straddle the bar, and you've got the bloke behind you, and he does you up, ties you connect you to him. Then they climb to 15,000 feet, open the door, and then they chuck you out.
You just go out. So how long are you like falling before the chute opens?
A minute.
Okay.
Was it a minute or was it 30 seconds? I think it was a minute.
They both quite long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're falling.
That's where you've got your goggles on.
Yeah.
You can't breathe because of the G-force.
Yeah.
But it was unbelievable.
Wow, I bet.
And then the parachute pulls, you go back up a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you're just like a bird in the sky.
Is it really quiet?
Really quiet, yeah. You can, like the instructor was chatting to me, he was telling me he's got a daughter and he used to be in the army.
Really? Is he like
Yeah.
coming down?
Yeah.
So, come here often?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then, because he was saying that there's not many female jumpers,
Right.
and that when a female goes out, sometimes they would prefer to be latched to another female rather than a male.
Yeah.
And he was saying, you could earn loads of money doing this. But you have to do about 800 jumps to get your licence.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can, go down there. But yeah, that was...
Wow. So who went first? Did you jump out first?
So there were 8 of us, so 16 altogether on the plane.
Yeah.
But I was the second on, and I think Damon was one of the last on.
Okay.
So
You get to see
he went.
him come down.
Yeah, he went out first.
Okay. Oh, he went first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last
so,
on
yeah.
with the first off. Yeah.
And he saw you come down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, my instructor, you were told to sit on the edge of the door.
Yeah.
Instructor behind you with your head up against his shoulder. But as we edged towards the door, my instructor went, sod that, goes, we'll just jump, and he pushed me out.
Really? Wow.
It was hilarious.
Wow. Right, should we do that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that one.
From Everest Base Camp to jumping out of a plane, Hayley is quite an adventurer. Now, talking about travelling, here I am reflecting about travel as I wandered around the streets of Las Vegas.
I have been very fortunate enough to travel a lot. I have always done it pretty much what you would say in luxury, whether it be on the cruise ships, doing this job as a flight attendant, with the casino work that I did, and just in general, just getting out there and doing it. And with that you come along, you get a sense of, I think that's just inborn into us, a sense of an awareness of your surroundings and whether you should be wary or whether you feel like you're in a safe area and stuff and what have you. This area that I have just walked through, I didn't have my recording device on because I didn't want to make it obvious that I had this piece of equipment. It was one of those areas where you just need to walk through it. There was a lot, like getting back to what I was talking about before with the opioid and the drug addiction problem issue that there is in the States. There was an individual walking along the street. If you initially didn't realise that it was a human being, you might have been tricked into thinking that it was something else. They were walking in such a way, they were crouched over, but doubled over, and it looked like something out of a movie. It was really quite interesting. And it's fascinating, isn't it, that you know, don't want to be judgmental in any way, but you just then wonder, you know, how that person functions with regards to the addiction and the cost of that and how they get through all of that. And you know, it's like how does that happen? You know. Again, that situation there, you probably just heard that guy, spare 50 cents. He saw me walking down. He's on a bike and he slowed down. So immediately I know that there's a chance that he's going to try and grab my recording device from me. So I just slowed down and made it a point where, as we passed each other, there was a lamppost between the two of us. And so it didn't give him that opportunity. It is just having that awareness around you. But yeah, you do wonder, how is this person, they're functioning with this addiction that they have, but they're getting through, they're doing it. And you sometimes wonder that person probably is a very clever person to be able to be doing that. I'm just going to run across this road before the lights change. So if they can show that they can do that, then if you put them in an environment where they are able to put that to good use, they will probably thrive. It's just the circumstances, and that circumstances can be from years ago, childhood, upbringing, their environment that they're in. It really is there's a lot. I am not trained in psychology or in any way, shape or form regarding that, but it is fascinating to think about, especially when you see it here. Now there's a very funny, I do know in England there's, there was, I don't think it's a thing anymore, Spearmint Rhino, the strip clubs. I don't think that is a thing anymore, but Vegas has Peppermint Hippo. I thought that was quite funny. Yeah, Peppermint Hippo. I presume it's an adult bar. I don't know, but that's quite funny. Listen, baby, I let the music on, no matter where you are, no matter how far, baby. Just on me, I'll be there to hurry. Everybody sing a song. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no mountain low, ain't no river wide. Awareness. I think that is what I've learnt the most, and continue to do so as I travel. As I walk and as I continue on this pilgrimage through life, the more I become aware of my fortunes, my misfortunes, my status, my privilege, my strengths, my foibles, all of me, the more aware I become of my potential and what my part is to play on this amazing planet that we are so lucky to inhabit. Nature is in charge. Nature will figure it all out. Now that's not just a cop-out or an excuse to do whatever I like. It's an awareness of how small yet how important a role I do play in the grand scheme of things. I so much love this journey, and I'm so glad that you're here on it with me, right now. My wish is that your awareness is as sharp and focused and bright. The Story Pilgrim was written, walked, recorded, edited, produced by me, Darren Hill. Anya Becker played this stunning original music on Sean the Harp. For more information, seek us out on social media. Search The Story Pilgrim on all of those great little sites. Our website is www.thestorypilgrim.com. Sign up for our monthly newsletter and read our blog. Please and thank you. Go and review this podcast. Share it with someone that you love. With a friend, please do. Keep listening, and buen camino.